Cathie Wood is starting to buy the dip, and also crypto might be setting up for a really interesting position. Let's break it down. I want to thank our sponsor today, and that is iTrust Capital, where you guys can get into your own crypto IRA. All you have to do is join it through the website, itrustcapital.com. You can get buy, sell, and of course get into crypto, gold, and silver with your IRA. The other thing that's kind of nice with this is that you get a chance to transfer. So you've got an existing one out there, you can also move that across and set up your whole system right there with iTrust Capital. Use our link. It's going to give you a $100 funding reward just to get started. So check it out. Always look at diversifying and building a tax-deferred model going forward, guys. Take a look at that one. Let's lead off with a clip here from Michael Saylor, because he's talking about something where crypto could be going nuclear. Take a look.
You have $1 million. You can either buy $1 million of Bitcoin and get on a roller coaster that'll probably return you 30% or more over the next decade, but you're going to have to go without anything for 4 years. Or do you want to give me the $1 million? I just give you 10% a year and I will peg the principal to $100. And what we've discovered is the market for the first 11% of the return is 100x larger than the market for all 40%. But let me say it a different way. How many people want unlimited free electricity? And how many people want to run a nuclear reactor in their backyard? So we're running a crypto reactor. The truth of the matter is the only security that I've ever created that I would ever recommend to friends and family is STRC.
All right, so there you had it. We had the strategy team on a couple of weeks ago, breaking down STRC, and of course this is a good example of it right here from strategy as a variable stock. Right there you see this other extension again, even after it's been doing these stair steps. So this thing could get nuclear very quickly. I would agree with Michael what he's talking about there, and it's an interesting strategy because as you look at this, it's all being built right now on top of Stretch, which is stablecoins. This is the TVL that you can continue to see that is absolutely climbing like nuts. This goes all the way back to March. And this, I think, is getting ready to get very interesting for a lot of traders because, to his point, people look at this versus the volatility of Bitcoin. And to his point, people are not interested in buying the Bitcoin because of the opportunity of volatility. This is a completely different model. And if you look at sentiment from Americans, we've been seeing a rising sentiment of people saying that crypto is just too volatile. So how much real adoption will we see if we don't see products like this actually going into the market? Here, of course, is another example right here is Apyx now tranching more. Seniors get to farm APY, USD points plus stretch yield. What I mean by that is this right here was APYX, which is another platform where you can go out and grab this. This is kind of the performance that they're giving, including these senior tranches, which is, of course, giving you the additional 9.3% in yield. So these are the kind of tactics that are being used across these. There, of course, is xStocks. They're going to absolutely go nuts with this. I just think we're going to see a absolute, remember, we're in still a bear market. I mean, Bitcoin's, yeah, sure, it's trading at 80K now. We've got clarity coming through. But the key is I don't know that a lot of this has really gotten into the market just yet. So be on the lookout. Largest holdings, let's go to ARK and Cathie Wood. The largest holdings in ARK right now, you can kind of see Hood and Coinbase starting to swap a little bit of space right here. Cathie is moving. All right, so when you look at some of the sells recently with the ARK holdings, you've got AMD being exited in there pretty consistently, April 30th, April 24th, May 1st, all that's moving out of AMD. You also look at the combined trades of Circle. These are also all sell, all the way from March on in. And this, of course, leads you into kind of the neutral positions that you have to be looking at. And one of them is this right here. This, of course, is Coinbase. A couple of buys, but this is moving up. This is February 17th, so that one hasn't been purchased recently. Then you look at the move right here with Robinhood. Robinhood, on the other hand, this little move right here is actually a very big position. And if you look at some of the trades down here, just to take a look, you've got just boom, 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 April 7th, April 7th, April 7th. So you've got all these buys in position right now. And if you look at this one right here, which was April 29th, 33 million right there in terms of the market value. We haven't seen another purchase like that. I'm looking through this. This is just nothing out there. That's the one. This tells me very bullish on where Robinhood is heading, obviously because of what we're going to see most likely with clarity going in. ARK holdings on Netflix also made an interesting move right there, up and to the right. A couple of purchases there. Let me jump in and zoom in on this one. There's several buys. Well, I shouldn't say several buys. Right now is the first one in April. So she's coming on, which is a good price because of Netflix lack of performance, which has kind of opened up for some positions. Here is Meta also taking an interesting position here recently. Just another buy right there on April 30th, though not a lot, but definitely on the move. Others that we'll take a look at is Roblox. This is another one. This one took up a big percentage in an increase. She's really increased her position here. And if you look at Roblox right there, boom, boom, boom. February was the last activity. Now we've doubled those entries right there on May 4th, which is today, and of course May 1st. So interesting moves by Cathie Wood. And if you look at this right here, I think this is a good example of that. I'll bet a lot of money on GTA 6 couldn't be released until clarity, because crypto is going to be implemented. Clarity Act could be the catalyst to move GTA 6 on. If you guys know what that means, then you understand what we could be seeing very soon is a big, big market move. Other questions that I'm always interested in is where is Alphabet on her list, also moving up. This was her only AI trade right there. It is moving up and to the right there, but it was the only one right there with Alphabet. And this, of course, is what we'll probably see going forward, I think, as we see a lot of different strategies of ARK moving into this high tech. If you look at Anthropic, which is really our play, this, of course, you'd have to do over, of course, on xStocks or something of that nature. And you can kind of see the revenue growth is there. Let's take a look at Anthropic over here. Yes, that's 90% right there, guys, in token price and movement right there. That's our winner. Take a look at it over on Jupiter. This is a 10x. If you had done this when we were talking about it first, go back and watch our videos. This is a 10x move right now, Anthropic. And there's 3,400 holders on this right there, guys. That's 3,400 holders right now on a stock that doesn't trade on the NASDAQ. I'm going this direction. I think this is the route to take. Just something to keep an eye on. Let's take a look at Polymarket. We'll look at the example of politic. The last time we had a politic pump, there it is right there. We're starting to move into that. And I think midterms, of course, we'll see an extension on where this is going to move. And you can kind of see the breakdown on pretty much everything there: sports, crypto, economics, culture, etc. Point is, Polymarket is in a very interesting point right now. One thing that I want to focus on right here, this is very unique because this is returning users. Look at this, guys. This is as sticky as it gets that I have seen on an app in a very, very long time. And the fact that it's growing and holding returning users is pretty amazing. So that only gives us more indication here that this is definitely on the move. Here's the LP rewards that are, of course, are also exploding right here. Again, good signs for where Polymarket is going, so be on the lookout for that one. One other thing that we hit on earlier is the TCG bull run that is starting to happen. When you look at trading cards, Courtyard, of course, leading the way right there. But the point is, it's heading up. So another area, we could be in an everything up cycle that could be setting up literally right now as we're moving into a new area. Here's BZ, good example right there. Fourth straight all-time high. April didn't slow down. This, of course, is one of the digital assets within the TCG market that we're explaining there. One other thing to note right here, this is what we would consider the plastic bull run. And the reason is because there's all sorts of cards being launched, as you guys can see. Just absolutely, and I don't think we're going to see these aren't the big ones yet. So imagine what this is going to look like when the big ones start to move. Stablecoins will play a part of this. This is all leaning into what Clarity is setting up for, and that is some very interesting moves. Amsterdam, of course, is a huge increase from 60 million we have today in terms of transaction and what the gas limit is going to be. This is going to be launching later this year for Ethereum. So all roads leading into both ETH and Solana. I want to go to a clip by Hunter Horsley that kind of breaks this down. Take a look.
There has never been a time where there are more reasons to be bullish than this exact moment. This is the most bullish moment from my perspective in the entire journey that Bitwise has witnessed in the space. Let me give you an anecdotal example. We were with one of the largest banks in the country. The management team of this bank has, quote, said the bank needs to go from 0 to 500 miles an hour on crypto. I don't know that a bank has ever gone from 0 to 500 miles an hour on anything. That is absolutely extraordinary. Things have absolutely changed. Another bank relationship that we have, where the management team has given parts of the bank 100 days to figure out their roadmap for crypto. I got a call from the CFO of a company that had just raised $2 billion of cash. He just wanted to know how he could buy it. Every structural tailwind is aligned to crypto's benefit. It's actually unbelievable to me. Every corporate and financial institution is going to be in the space in one way or another in the next 12 months.
Okay, so he hits on a lot of points. Now, you could say, and look at that clip, and you could say, oh, well, Paul, that means banks are going all in. We're going to see corporate finance moving, treasuries coming in. I don't know. I think banks are not quite as savvy. I think they will put out maybe some entry-level products that will get some of the neutral retail investors into it. But I think where it's going to play into the market is in retail, that is the if you know crowd, and the ones that have been curious for a while. That could be enough to really set this market up. And this will only be a catalyst or catnip for a lot of those kinds of traders because of what's happening in the TradFi side. Granted, that will be another sector of the market that will be coming in the future. I just don't know if it will be very quickly. So be on the look at that. And it also gives you a little bit of pause in terms of understanding how much and how you should be balancing this. This is not financial advice, but when you look at managing your portfolios, look at the balance right now. Make sure you're fully diversified. And I think the key here is watch for these major trends. We're going to be covering this and more. So stay tuned. If you like this video, hit like and subscribe, drop a comment down below, and also join our free private member group. The link is in the description.